It's been more than a year and still the Russia-Ukraine war is making headlines, and now it has reached new heights when the International Criminal Court has issued arrest warrant against the Russian President Vladimir Putin. Hello and welcome to the In Focus series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh, and in today's video we will be discussing about the International Criminal Court issues arrest warrant for the Russian President Vladimir Putin. So let us first understand the timeline of the video. First we will be looking at the news, then what are the reasons for the arrest warrant, or what does the warrant mean for the Russian president. Then we will be looking into the International Criminal Court or ICC, then about all its respect and what are the important points related to it and India's relationship with it. Then about its limitation, then the International Court of Justice versus the International Criminal Court, in the end a prelims MCQ. This topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 2, that is International Relations and also important international institution. This goes for International Criminal Court because this is what will constitute the major portion of the video. So let's get started and see the news, and the news has been taken from the Indian Express, and it says ICC, which is International Criminal Court, it has issued arrest warrant for the Russian President Vladimir Putin for war crimes in Ukraine. What does this mean? So recently what has happened, see, this is a very big news because it is not that some normal individual has been given an arrest warrant, but on the other hand it is the president of a country who has been given the arrest warrant or who has been issued an arrest warrant by an International Criminal Court. So let us first see that what has happened. So the International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant against the Russian President Vladimir Putin and a second Russian official. So in total there are two people who has received the arrest warrants from the International Criminal Court, President Vladimir Putin and one other Russian official. So what is the reason for the arrest? Why is it that the International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant against the president of Russia? So we all know that it's been more than a year since the Russia-Ukraine war has started. So when the Russia-Ukraine war started, the Russia invaded Ukraine, and Ukraine, because it wanted to become a part of the NATO nations, so the Russia did not wanted Ukraine to join the NATO nations. So in short, or in layman term, if I tell you, this was the main reason for the war, because Russia thinks that if Ukraine will join the NATO nations and Ukraine shares a border with Russia, so this will be very dangerous for the Russia if the NATO nations will reach its boundaries. So now what is happening is the European Union and the NATO nations are supporting Ukraine and have already put sanctions over the Russia. And now there are news coming up that the war crimes is happening. The war crimes or the prisoners, this is the kind of news which is coming, is what has led the International Criminal Court to issue arrest warrant for the president of Russia. So the International Criminal Court is saying that Putin or Vladimir Putin bears individual criminal responsibility for the Russia-Ukraine war. The important and the big word here is criminal responsibility. So he is the one who is responsible or is accountable for what is happening, for the war crimes which is happening, or for the prisoners which has been taken from Ukraine to Russia, the civilian population of Ukraine which is suffering because of it. So the abduction and deportation of Ukrainian children since Russia's full-scale invasion. So the abduction and deportation of the civilian population of Ukraine which has been done by the Russians. Then the unlawful transfer of population from occupied areas of Ukraine to the Russian Federation. So these are few of the main reasons that why the International Criminal Court has sent an arrest warrant for the Russian president. First is war crimes, second is the abduction and deportation of Ukraine children, and third is the unlawful transfer of population from Ukraine to Russia. Now let's see that what does the warrant mean for Vladimir Putin. Is it that if International Criminal Court has sent an arrest warrant for the highest person in the country, so can Vladimir Putin or can the president of Russia be arrested or what is the other scenarios related to it. So what is happening that after seeing the International Criminal Court sending the arrest warrant to Vladimir Putin, the human rights activists or groups all around the globe have hailed this step by the ICC, and this says, or the court cannot try defendant in absentia, and Russia has said it will not surrender its own officials. So now here the problem lies is that the International Criminal Court, Russia is not a member of the International Criminal Court. Russia does not form a part of the International Criminal Court or has not signed the membership of the International Criminal Court. Now there is a limitation of the International Criminal Court that if any country who has not signed the membership of the International Criminal Court, the International Criminal Court cannot arrest the people of that country. And plus there is one more claim in that is that the International Criminal Court does not arrest the highest dignitaries of any nation, or be it the president or the prime ministers of any nation. So this is where the problem lies, that Russia is saying that it will not surrender its own officials, and Russia is also not part of the International Criminal Court. Then the warrant for Putin's arrest deepens his isolation in the West and could limit his movement overseas. Now what happens is that many of the Western countries have signed the International Criminal Court membership or are members of the ICC. So now what happens is the ICC can arrest people only in the countries which have signed its membership. So what will happen if the Russian President Vladimir Putin will travel to any of the country who have signed the ICC membership? Then he or she can get arrested in that country. This is what the point is also being mentioned at present, because of which there is speculations that his movement overseas might be restricted, or he has to be in isolation for a long period of time. Because if he travels to a state that is party to the ICC, that country must arrest him. So there are many opinions that what will Vladimir Putin do now, because if he travels to a country which is a member of the ICC, then there might be other repercussions that he has to face. Russia is not a party to the ICC, so they are saying that we will not surrender our officials, and because he is the president of a country, he cannot be arrested by the ICC. So there are many different opinions or respects in this case. Now coming to the major portion of the video, or I would say which is important from the exam perspective, is you should be knowing that what is International Criminal Court. So I have jotted down all the important points regarding the International Criminal Court which is important for you to know from the exam perspective. So ICC stands for International Criminal Court, and when the word international comes, you can actually find out that it is not about one nation or two nations, it is about the global scenario, or where many countries are coming together and forming an alliance. So International Criminal Court is governed by an international treaty called the Rome Statute, and this Rome, see, you need to know that International Criminal Court was formed by which statute? So it was formed by the Rome Statute. This is the first important fact for you. Rome Statute came into being in 1998 and was adopted by 120 states in direction of creating a more just world. So it came into being in 1998, but it came into force in the year 2002. Then this is the world's first permanent international criminal court. So there's one more point you need to remember, that ICC, which is International Criminal Court, is different from ICJ, which is International Court of Justice. So these two are absolutely different organization. ICJ is a part of the organization United Nations, while ICC is not an UN body. So ICC can investigate and, if warranted, then can also try individuals charged with the gravest crimes of concern to the international community. So ICC works on the individual level. They can arrest or they can punish individuals, and there are reasons or or they are very restricted in their scenario, because there are only very few lines on which they can actually arrest the individuals, and these can be genocide, war crimes, crime against humanity, and crime of aggression. So these are the gravest crimes for which the ICC can give its judgment or can play its own part. So the important points from this slide becomes: first is the Rome Statute, second is they work on individual basis, and then the few of the reasons on which they can actually work, that is genocide, war crime, crime against humanity, and crime of aggression. Then most important point for you to know whether India is a part of ICC or not. India is not. India is not a part of ICC. India has not signed the ICC membership like other countries like China and US. So if it comes that US is a part of ICC, no. China is a part of ICC, no. India is a part of ICC, no. India is not part of the ICC. Very, very important point from exam perspective. You should be able to know whether India is a part of ICC or not. Then ICC has 6 official languages, which is English, French, Arabic, Chinese, Russian, and Spanish. And it has 2 working languages, that is English, very obvious, and second one being the French. And its headquarters is in Hague, the Netherlands. This is also an important point because many a times headquarters has been asked in the previous year questions. You can go and check about the PYQs. And ICC is not a UN organization. This is also an important point, that ICJ, which is International Court of Justice, is an UN organization, but ICC is not a UN organization. This is a point where the examiner can trick you very easily, because people many a times get confused between ICC and ICJ. So important points become: it is not an UN organization, India is not a member of the ICC, and its headquarters is in The Hague, Netherlands. Now let's talk about few of the limitations of the ICC, that why ICC is not able to work properly or is not a very dominant organization. So first and foremost being that ICC does not have its own police force or enforcement body. Many a times it gets in touch with the other country, and then the other country's police force works for them. So they do not have their own police force. Then ICC cannot impose a death sentence. They cannot impose. What maximum they can do is they can give you a term of imprisonment for up to 30 years or life imprisonment. Then no retrospective jurisdiction. So this is also one of the biggest limitations, that retrospective jurisdiction is not there. They can only give they can only try the cases or give jurisdiction which has been committed after 1st July 2002, because 2002 is the year when the Rome Statute came into force. Then automatic jurisdiction only for crimes committed on the territory of a state which has ratified the treaty. So if some individual has done some crime but is not part of the ICC, then also ICC has its own limitations, because it cannot work in the country which has not signed its membership. So this was few of the limitations of the ICC which stops it from playing a very dominant role. Now comes, this is also an important slide because this tells us the difference between ICJ, which is International Court of Justice, versus ICC, which is International Criminal Court. Okay, so this section is ICJ and this section is ICC. So year court established, ICJ was established in 1946 while ICC was established in 2002. I've told you 2002 after the Rome Statute, while ICJ was established after the 1945 or after the formation of the United Nations. UN relationship, ICJ is a UN body while ICC is not a United Nations body. Then comes location, as both the headquarters are present in The Hague and also The Hague. So this is the similarity between both of them. Then types of cases where the ICC and ICJ can perform is, the ICJ can perform cases on state, national levels, country levels, while ICC can do it on individual levels. Then funding. So ICJ, because it is a United Nations body, it gets United Nations funding, while on the other hand ICC does not get UN funding. It works on the voluntary contributions. Then subject matter, as I told you in the slide starting only, that ICC works on individual basis, and that can be genocide, crime against humanity, war crimes, or crime of aggression. So this ICC is restricted to this type of subject matter, while on the other hand ICJ can work on issues like sovereignty of our country, boundary issues, maritime dispute, trade, natural resources, and many more. So you should be able to know or understand the difference between ICC and ICJ. First, ICJ UN, ICC is not a UN body. Second, ICJ receives funding from UN, while ICC does not. ICC works on individual basis, ICJ on national and international state matters. So these are few of the things that you need to understand, and foremost being that ICC came in the year 2002 after Rome Statute, and ICJ came much earlier after the formation of the United Nations in 1945. Then ICJ came in the year 1946 because it is a UN body. Now in the end, it's time for the prelims MCQ, and you people need to tell me the answer in the comment section. You should be able to do this one because I've told you all the points. So consider the following statements regarding International Criminal Court. First one being, India is a party to it or not. Second, it is governed by an international treaty called the Rome Statute. Third, ICC is not a UN organization. So which of the statement given above are correct? Codes are 1 and 2 only, 1 and 3 only, 2 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. So try to solve the answer. Try to solve the question and give me the answer in the comment section. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.